Good morning, students. Today, the topic of discussion is entrepreneurship and its fundamentals. I am your trainer Priyanka Majumdar from Retail Services. The key learning objective of today's lesson is understand the concept of entrepreneurship, explain the function of an entrepreneur, describe the process of entrepreneurship, describe the need of entrepreneurship, explain the personality traits of an entrepreneur. Before going deep into the subject, entrepreneur, we should first know from where the word entrepreneur is derived. The word entrepreneur is derived from the French word which means to undertake, that is, individual who undertake the risk of a new enterprise. The word was first coined by Richard Cantillon, an Irishman living in France. Now we'll discuss about the concept of entrepreneurship. The concept of entrepreneurship generally deals with three subjects. First is entrepreneur, then entrepreneurship, and enterprise. Here, entrepreneur is called the person, the process is called entrepreneurship, and the outcome is called enterprise. An entrepreneur is the person who bears the risk, unites the various factors of production like land, labor, capital, carries out the creative innovations. He must have a good idea or innovative idea. He or she is the individual or a group of individuals who try to create something new, which is known as what? Innovation. Entrepreneurship refers to the process of creating the new enterprise and bearing any type of risk. Here, the risk means any type of risk like political risk, economical risk, environmental risk, the risk like if your product is not liked by the customers, with a view, why you're taking this risk? With a view to make profit. Then called enterprise. Enterprise is the outcome. It is the organization, it is the business organization that is formed and which provides goods or services. The organization can provide you what? Goods or services. It creates what? It creates jobs. It contributes to the national income. Then exports, then contribute to the overall economic development. Now we'll discuss about the qualities, or we can say the personality traits to become an entrepreneur. First point is he has to be very innovative and he has to have the ability to take risk. This is the first and the foremost trait of an entrepreneur. Starting any business involves a considerable amount of risk of failure. Therefore, the courage and capacity to take the said risk are essential for an entrepreneur. For innovation, in a world where almost everything has been done, innovation is the priceless gift to have. Innovation basically means generating a new idea with which you can start a business and achieve a substantial amount of profit. Innovation can be in the form of product, like launching a product that is no one is selling in the market, like a process that can be capital intensive industry that have to replace the manual labor with machineries. Now it's called visionary. To be an entrepreneur, the person has to be a visionary. Every entrepreneur needs to be a visionary. Without a vision for the future of his venture, he or she would just be working aimlessly without reaching any point of success. He should exhibit the sense of leadership. An entrepreneur has a vision. However, it takes a lot of resource to turn that vision into reality. One of these resources are the people that the entrepreneur has to perform various functions like production, supplying, accounting, etc. A single person cannot perform all the tasks. Therefore, it is important to bring some more people to do it. So this is also makes leadership very important, as a leader provides the required direction to the effort of the employees. Without proper direction or without proper leadership, everyone would be working independently without achieving the desired results. Next is open-minded. A good entrepreneur realizes that every situation can be a business opportunity, thus can be utilized for the benefit of the organization. For example, Paytm realized the significance of demonetization, recognized that the need for online transaction was more than ever during the time, so they utilized it and grew massively during this period. Next is confident and well-informed. An entrepreneur needs to be confident about his ideas and skills. This confidence also inspires the confidence of the people working under him, as well as the other stakeholders involved in the business. This confidence comes from being well informed about the industry and the environment. Here, environment means the business environment. Various legal and political policies enhance the business and trade opportunities, while some other hinder them. Having knowledge about this can really help an entrepreneur make the right decision at the right time. Last but not the least, the entrepreneur must have to be customer oriented, because a good entrepreneur will always know a business is all about the customer. How to grab the customer's attention is the first step. This can be done through various mediums such as marketing, advertising. It is very important to know the needs of your customer. The product or service which is being created by your organization needs to gather the needs of the consumers. Personalizing the business for consumer will also boost your sales. So these are some. Now we'll move to the functions of an entrepreneur. The functions of an entrepreneur can be broadly classified into 4 headings: entrepreneurial functions, promotional functions, managerial functions, and commercial functions. Under entrepreneurial functions, the first and foremost thing is innovation. Innovation is the basic function of an entrepreneur. As an innovator, the entrepreneur has to introduce new combination of means of production, new product, new market, and new source of raw material. They introduce something new in the branch of economic activity, like for example iPod, the smartphone we use, the induction cooktop, etc. Next is risk taking. What is risk taking now? It refers to the responsibility for a loss that may occur due to unforeseen contingency. For example, Dhirubhai Ambani once flown to Jamnagar, saw a piece of barren land. Then he asked his manager why mangoes cannot be grown there. Then official informed him that the land was not that fertile enough to crop mango. Dhirubhai took it as a challenge and told that official that it was for the same reason why mangoes ought to be grown in this land. After just few years, the entire land is about 2000 acres and it has been converted into green, and 60,000 tons of mango crop was harvested from the same land. So Dhirubhai took this as a risk and believed in the success, thus translating it into the best mango variety. Do you know what is the variety is called? It is called Alfonso mango, which is being grown in that region. Now, the third entrepreneurial function is organization and building. Organization and management are the two main components of an entrepreneur. They refer to bringing together the various factors of production. The purpose is to allocate the productive resource in order to minimize the loss and reduce the cost of production. Now we'll move to promotional function. The promotional function starts with the discovery of an idea. Here we can say investigation of the idea. Here I like to give an example of Karsan Bhai Patel. The creator, you know who's Karsan Bhai Patel? Karsan Bhai Patel is the creator of Nirma washing powder, who was working in a factory of a chemist in Gujarat Mineral Development Corporation. Started making detergent powder in his kitchen one day for the poor rural women of Gujarat, and he started to sell his product by visiting different villages. His effort culminated, and this whitish yellow detergent powder named Nirma now become the success story. The idea behind the Nirma is the need and the problem of the society who could not afford the brand of other detergent powder because of their high cost. So today Nirma is one of the world's biggest detergent powder manufacturer. So after generating an idea, we should go for a detailed investigation. An entrepreneur should go for a detailed investigation. The entrepreneur will estimate the total demand for the product. After determining the demand, then he will arrange finances for the venture, then make arrangement for the power, labor, raw materials and machinery. So this estimate should be based on proper analysis of various factors. Then comes assembling of the requirement. After making sure the proposition is practical, after making sure that your idea or the entrepreneurial idea is practical and profitable, the entrepreneur proceeds to the assemble of requirement. Then he persuades more and more people to join him. Then he may be required some patent rights if he's invented something. The entrepreneur selects the factory site, decide about the plant and machinery, contact suppliers of materials. So now comes financing of proposition. The entrepreneur decides about the capital structure of the enterprise, the requirement of the finances, estimated cost, from where the money will come, the long-term, short-term investments. So, for example, Narayana Murthy, I think you hope all of you know that Narayana Murthy started Infosys in 1981. He had no capital with him. His wife, Sudha Murthy, gave him 10,000 rupees, which she has saved for some contingency. So now you all can see how the Infosys is successful, a venture. And now we'll move to managerial function. The managerial function starts with planning. It is the basic managerial function of the entrepreneur. It helps to determining the course of action to be followed to achieve various entrepreneurial activities. Planning is concerned with the mental state of the entrepreneur. It is the decision making in advance, what to do, when to do, how to do, and who will do the particular task. Now it's come to organizing. Every business needs service of the person to look after different aspects. So the entrepreneur set up objective and goals to be achieved by personnel. The essence of organizing is to arrange, to coordinate, to direct, control the activities of the factors of production. Now next point is stuffing. What is stuffing? Stuffing is all about related with human resource, manpower planning, recruitment, selection, placement of manpower, human resource development, promotion, transfer, appraisal, determination of employees' remuneration. Now comes directing. Directing is concerned with carry out desired plans. It is initiated with organized, planned action, involves leadership, communication, motivation and supervision, coordination and also controlling. Now we'll move to commercial function. What is commercial function is all about? Commercial functions are first production. It is the key function of the entrepreneur. The activities of production are independent of the size of undertaking. In a small concern, one person may undertake all the functions, whereas in the large organization, this activity may be undertaken by different individuals in the different separate teams. Then finance. It remains a focus for all business activities. The need of money is continuous. It starts with setting up the enterprise and remains all of the time. Marketing. It is primarily concerned with the movement of goods and services from the producer to the ultimate consumer. It is directed toward the satisfaction of the consumer wants. Marketing plays a very important and significant role in promoting the well-being of the enterprise. So it is the role of the entrepreneur to strategically place his company in the position that to secure the top position in the market. Then personnel. The function concerned with the employment, development and compensation for the personnel, the provisions for working condition, welfare measures to maintain for good workforce in the organization. Now called accounting. Accounting is defined as the systematic recording of entrepreneurial transaction of an enterprise and the financial position of the enterprise. The entrepreneur should look into the record keeping of all transactions which take place in the organization so that he can aware of his financial position. Although all enterprises are different and unique, as the entrepreneur who create them, most of them appear to work through a process. So there is also a process for entrepreneurship. Here we'll discuss about the different steps of this process. The first is self-discovery. Self-discovery means learning what you do, enjoying, examining your strength and weakness, examining work experience, relating to the potential opportunity. So first, to be a good entrepreneur, you have to examine in which sectors you are good, for which sector or which idea you have knowledge, your experience. Then comes identifying the opportunities. Then the entrepreneur look for the need and want and problem and the challenges what are not being met yet and dealt effectively. And after discovering the opportunities, they will generate and evaluate the ideas. Using the creativity and past experience, they will devise new and innovative ways to solve that problem or meet the need, then narrowing the field of one best idea. Then comes planning. Planning means researching and identifying the resource needed to turn the idea into a viable venture. Doing research in the form of written business plan, preparing marketing strategies, then raising startup capital. Using your business plan to attract investors, venture capitalists and partners. This stage can involve producing prototypes and test marketing, and after that we'll launch the venture, developing the customer base and adjusting marketing and operational plans as required. And after that there is a growth phase. Growing the business means developing and following a strategic plan and adapting to new circumstances. And after that, last is harvest, selling the business and harvesting the rewards. For many entrepreneurs, this is also means moving into a new venture and the new challenges. Like Prem Agarwal of Vishal did. He sell Vishal, then he started a new venture called V2 Retail. All of you, after going through all this slide, may be thinking that why we need to study entrepreneurship. Why a nation wants entrepreneurship? There are certain reasons of it. First of all, it is a lifeline of a nation. No country can progress without the development of entrepreneurship. Every country is trying to promote its trade so that it is able to share the benefits of the development. Therefore, entrepreneurship is the yardstick to measure the level of development in the country. Then comes provide innovation. Entrepreneurship provides new ideas, imaginations, and vision to the enterprise. An entrepreneur is an innovator, and he tries to find out new technology, products, and market. He increases the productivity of various resources. The entrepreneur stands in the center of the whole process of economic development. Next comes change of growth. An enterprise operates in the changing environment. The entrepreneur molds the enterprise in such a changing environment. The latter molds not only the enterprise but also alters the environment itself to ensure the success of enterprise. In order to meet the challenges of automation and complexities of advanced technologies, there is a need of development of enterprise. Then call increase of employment opportunities. Entrepreneurship and its activities provide maximum employment potential. Large number of persons are employed in entrepreneurial activities in the country. The growth of these activities bring more and more employment opportunities. Last but not the least, social benefits. It is not only beneficial to the business enterprise but also to the society as a large. It raises the standard of living by providing good quality of products and services at the lowest possible cost. It also makes the optimum use of scarce resources, promotes peace and prosperity to the society. So this is all about the entrepreneurship process, entrepreneurship functions, the characteristics to be a good entrepreneur. To sum up, I would like to add on, the study of entrepreneurship will give you the skill, that is, learn to earn. It also make you understand the importance of earning, be it a big or small, how to sell a product or service. It give you the understanding, the value of money, appreciating and respecting the effort put into generating income. So here I would like to cite example of India's most renowned entrepreneur is none other than Dheeraj Lal Hirachand Ambani, known as Dhirubhai Ambani, who is an Indian entrepreneur who reformed the thought process of doing business in India. He inspired many of the people to beat the system, rather be in the system. He always believed that only when you dream of it, you can do it. And he also thinks, think big, think fast, think ahead. Ideas are no one's monopoly. For any doubts and queries, you can text me, you can call me. Stay home, save lives.